So the other day we got our ultimate shredder guitar. At least we made a decision, and hopefully it's going to be our ultimate shredder guitar. I checked her 6FR 6-string Floyd Rose system, you know, so you can go up and down. It's in a recessed cavity. And now I'm kind of looking for like a C-sharp guitar, dedicated C-sharp guitar, kind of like Tony Iommi and their, you know, Black Sabbath. Of course, he used standard tuning, but he usually used C-sharp on several, like 3 or 4 albums and many songs, I guess, in that 70s era. And one of the guitars that Tony Iommi used is the SG, Gibson SG, with his custom P90 or whatever pickup system he uses. Now he's used humbuckers as well. Of course, the real Gibson SG is in that $2,500 range, which is way over my budget. Then you've got the Epiphone, like Tony Iommi P90 signature model, which is about $800. It includes a hard case, which is nice, but a lot of people are reviewing this guy and saying, you know, even the other like P90 SG Epiphones, they have a decent tone, but the feel isn't really there. And maybe they're comparing them in a lot of cases to original Gibson SG. But another one said that he had a cheap Chinese knockoff SG that actually not only sounded, you know, similar, but it felt better than these like $400+ range Epiphones. And then there are some SGs with humbuckers, some Epiphones in the cheaper range that are usually go on sale for around $149, as you can see here, to maybe $199. And getting a decent P90, you know, I was looking at just converting my Special 2, similar to this guy here, my Les Paul Special 2. I think it's a 2007 model, which I have, and just putting P90s and resetting it up for that down-tuned strings, or just buying a new or blemished one. So, you know, you can get a blemished one sometimes for like $149, or maybe a new one for $180, $170. And they come in a few different colors, but again, we can get like some Wilkinson, like Amazon P90 pickups for about $40, and I'm just not sure how well they're going to sound. A lot of your P90, you know, humbucker size P90s are going to be in that $200 range, so you can kind of just get like a SG or maybe a Les Paul with P90s in that $400, $430, $500 range, and it might be a better option because you might already have some decent pickups in them versus getting the cheaper ones. So yeah, you can get like this yellow Les Paul with P90s already in it for $500, or maybe the Les Paul Jr., which only has the single bridge pickup, for about $480, and that's a pretty guitar. Other two options in the Epiphone range is to get an SG like the worn finish, which is a little bit cheaper for them to do than the other finish, for about $430. So it's already got your P90 pickups in it, and you know, I hear that these finishes will wear over time a little bit easier than your gloss finish, in that green color, as well as the worn cherry or whatever finish like this here. Or you can get, basically, I believe these are almost the same except with the glossy finish. So you got like a faded pale and blue there for $20 more, $449. This is the sparkling burgundy. So yeah, your finish may last longer on these for $20 more. And I think the pick guard is a little bit different on these as well. That pick guard kind of stops in this area, and then the worn ones, the pick guard goes all the way across the P90s up to there. You got something just a little bit further up in price, the Guild Polara Deluxe models. They have humbucking pickups that are supposed to sound very P90 like. both in humbucking mode and more so in coil splitting mode. And these guys are kind of the SG style as well. So the problem with a lot of these Epiphones is, in the cheaper end, is that they have either bad reviews and I don't know which exact model I clicked on the other day, but on Amazon it said this has a high return rate. So it had a warning when you clicked on it, and I guess they're just coming out with a really bad setup. I've heard like twisted necks and stuff like that, but I guess you can always get either a good one or a bad one from Amazon or wherever you get it. Hopefully you got a decent return policy wherever you get it. Hopefully you'll get return shipping, which I can't promise you every site or store does that. Sounds has an amazing return policy. Amazon, if it's a third party seller, it's hard to tell, but if you get it from Amazon themselves, I'm sure you probably would get a good return on it without having to pay shipping. Just go to drop it off at a UPS store or whatever. But yeah, you could get any something in the SG or Les Paul special range for either new on sale or slightly blemished return item for $149 all the way up to going to the real Gibson for $2,500, $3,000. So the price range is there, but yeah, the question is whether I want to go with a cheap or a mid-range Epiphone, or go slightly up to that Guild Polara, or use the Les Paul Special 2 that I already have and take a chance, installing those P90s for around $40. It just may not be worth it if you can if that doesn't work, if those $40 P90s just don't make it sound right. And there are a few like treble boosters and Black Sabbath, either signature or non-signature models like Sabracadabra and stuff, that is supposed to make you sound like Black Sabbath. But when this guy came out, the Proco Solo, I bought it, and it's kind of like the sound of the 70s, and you can get that kind of Black Sabbath sound. Now you can go way wonky with settings and just get off and make it sound like pure garbage, but there is a sweet spot somewhere. So between maybe some good P90s and an SG or Les Paul Special, and with the Proco Solo. Of course, I don't have a Laney amp, and I'm not planning to get one, but I just want a dedicated electric guitar to have that tuning and to get that kind of Black Sabbath sound. And if there's Tool or whatever that might be in the same range, it would be nice.